Yo, what's good, footy fam? Welcome back to the channel where we spill the tea on all things football, with a side of sass and zero chill. Today we're diving into the wildest transfer rumour that's got the internet losing its fudging mind. Real Madrid sniffing around Antony from Manchester United as a potential replacement for Rodrigo. Is this legit? Is it bonkers? Or is it just straight up scary? Let's break it down, grab your snacks, and let's get into this shiz.
Moving silent, feel the violence, the excitement, I know the assignment. I'm taking over, I'm sick of mediocre. I'll be the closer, I got a different motor. I got a mission to win it, some ammunition to get it. Don't need permission to finish, got an addiction that's gripping. Got some convictions I'm living, once I'm committed I'm in it. Got a prediction I'm winning, They're the pure bloods, I'm the hybrid. They hate change, so they try to push and fight it. I stay steady, yeah, I've always been defiant. Up against the beast, yeah, I'm up against a giant. But now I'm gunning for their heads, and I will die with no regrets. This season come to an end, I'm saying no red.
Alright, so the gossip's hotter than a jalapeno in a microwave. Word on the street, or rather posts on X, are buzzing about Real Madrid possibly eyeing Antony to fill the boots of Rodrigo, who's been linked with a move away from the Bernabeu. Now, before you spit out your drink, let's unpack why this could actually make sense, why it's giving us the heebie-jeebies, and what's going on with all the clubs involved: Manchester United, Real Sociedad, and the Galacticos themselves. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. Why Rodrigo might be out the door. First off, let's talk about Rodrigo, the Brazilian wonder kid who's been dazzling at Real Madrid since 2018. This dude's got 13 goals and 10 assists in 50 appearances this season, which ain't exactly chump change. But here's the kicker. His future's been shakier than a fidget spinner on a roller coaster. Rumours have been swirling that Rodrigo's not entirely happy, especially after former boss Carlo Ancelotti benched him for big games like El Clasico, citing illness and injury. Yeah, right Carlo, we see you. Some reports even claimed Rodrigo was so fed up he swore he'd never play for Madrid again. Dramatic much? Now, with Xabi Alonso taking over as Real Madrid's new gaffer, the vibe's shifting. Alonso's made it clear Rodrigo's a key player, saying he's essential, and slapping a hands-off warning to clubs like Arsenal, Manchester City, and Liverpool, who've all been circling like sharks. But here's the spicy bit. Despite Alonso's love, Spanish outlet Cadena Ser says Real Madrid might let Rodrigo go for a cool 80 million euros, about £67.5 million, with Arsenal leading the race. And if Rodrigo bolts, Madrid's gonna need a new right winger to keep their attack spicier than a taco truck. Enter Antony. Why Antony? Is Real Madrid tripping? Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Antony to Real Madrid, the same Antony who's been catching more flack than a seagull at a chip shop. Since joining Manchester United from Ajax in 2022 for a whopping £86 million, Antony's been polarising. He's got the flair, the spins, and the confidence of a peacock, but his end product? Oof, it's been dodgier than a knockoff Rolex. In 82 Premier League games, he's bagged just 11 goals and 5 assists. Not exactly screaming Galactico, right? But hold up, don't write him off just yet. Antony's only 25, and his time at Ajax showed he's got the sauce. Under Erik ten Hag, he was a dribbling demon, cutting in from the right with that lethal left foot. Real Madrid's new boss, Xabi Alonso, might see him as a rough diamond who just needs a new vibe to shine. Plus, Antony's got that Brazilian flair that Madrid loves. Think Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and now Vinicius Jr and Endrick. Could Antony be the next Samba star to light up the Bernabeu? Or is this just a fever dream cooked up by some ex-user with too much time on their hands? The Real Sociedad connection. Now, let's throw Real Sociedad into this spicy soup. Why are they in the mix? Well, Real Madrid's been linked with their midfield maestro, Martin Zubimendi, who's also on Arsenal's radar. Some fans on X are speculating that if Rodrigo leaves, Madrid might use the cash to fund a move for Zubimendi, but here's where it gets wild. There's chatter that Antony could be part of a swap deal or a separate transfer to replace Rodrigo. Real Sociedad's attack has been solid, but they've got no one quite like Antony's chaotic energy. Could Madrid be eyeing a deal that involves both clubs? It's a long shot, but stranger things have happened, like Tottenham winning the Europa League. Manchester United's side of the story. Over at Old Trafford, things are messier than a toddler's birthday cake. Manager Ruben Amorim's been shaking things up, and not everyone's happy. There's even talk of Amorim telling players like Alejandro Garnacho to pray for a transfer, so you know the vibes are tense. If United are open to offloading Antony, especially after paying that massive fee, they might see a move to Real Madrid as a chance to recoup some cash, or at least get him off their books. But here's the juicy part. An ex-post from Real Betis dropped a bombshell, suggesting a straight-up swap deal: Rodrigo to United, Antony to Madrid. Now, I'm not saying it's gospel, but imagine the scenes. Rodrigo tearing it up in the Premier League, while Antony tries to prove himself at the Bernabeu. It's wilder than a soap opera plot twist, but it's got us thinking, could United and Madrid actually pull this off? Why this signing is scary. Alright, let's get to the meat of it. Why is this Antony to Madrid rumour so fudging scary? First, the good scary. If Real Madrid unlock Antony's potential, we could see the Ajax version of him dribbling past defenders like they're cones and banging in goals with that wand of a left foot. Pair him with Vinicius Jr, Kylian Mbappé and Jude Bellingham, and Madrid's attack could be more lethal than a ninja with a laser sword. Alonso's tactical nous, honed at Leverkusen with a back three and flying wingbacks, could give Antony the freedom to wreak havoc. But here's the bad scary. What if Antony flops harder than a pancake at a buffet? Madrid fans don't mess around, they'll boo their own players faster than you can say Galactico. If Antony's pulling his spin moves with no goals to show for it, the Bernabeu could turn into a pressure cooker. Plus, that €80 million price tag for Rodrigo means Madrid's got to splash serious cash or get creative with a swap. If they bet big on Antony and he doesn't deliver, it's going to be a PR nightmare bigger than a Godzilla tantrum. What's next? The transfer window looms. So, where do we stand? Real Madrid's got a Club World Cup to prep for, which might delay any Rodrigo sale until August. If they do cash in, they're eyeing replacements like Athletic Bilbao's Nico Williams, who's got a €58 million release clause and could slide right into Rodrigo's spot. But Antony's name keeps popping up, and that X post about a swap deal's got us intrigued.